The Reset Button, episode 41. Have no fear, we are back right here on a big D&D. Tannen, what's going on, man? It's been quite an eventful week in gaming. Since tons to talk about. It's our E3 episode, but how you been? How was your E3, Tannen?
Everything's been pretty great. Like personal life stuff. I like to talk about that. I went on a kind of a I'm part of a paranormal group, by the way, everybody. That was a mishap on my end. In a way, nothing really came of it. Spent a lot of money, blah, blah, blah. But what I was really excited about this past weekend, while I was on that little trip, was especially E3, and I was able to go out of my mind and get to see these new unveilings. E3 is such a huge event every year for us. This is, dude, Travis, this is like Christmas in June.
I mean, it's not like Christmas. I mean, Christmas is like when the games come out and we can play them. This is more like, I don't know, Easter?
Yeah. It's just this is what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when you got an action figure for Easter to hint for the play set you were going to get.
It's like if you get a Turtles action figure in your Easter basket and you get the second Turtles game on NES for Christmas that year. It's like it's Easter.
Yeah, or the blimp, or just anything bigger.
Other than that, it's time for this week's What You Been Playing, Tannen, since we've done it.
Well, I'm still playing Detroit Become Human. I picked that up when it came out a couple weeks ago, kind of taking my time with it. I do really enjoy it. I like it a lot more than what I like to call Ellen Page crying the game, also known as Beyond Two Souls, which I actually am replaying through that as well, just because it was free. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I can't play Detroit when Karen's around because she's like watching the story, I'm going back and playing Beyond Two Souls. Oh boy, excuse me. Sorry, did not mean to yawn.
That's how exciting Beyond Two Souls is, guys. It's putting him to sleep just talking about it.
There was shit that just, the game, you're Ellen Page, and you have like this attachment to like this spirit, this ghost, that's like attached to you through your abdomen or whatever. And it's that's like what your superpower is, and eventually in the game, like there's just this one part, it just really pissed me off because I realized, wow, the linear shit that they did with this game, like Heavy Rain, I mean, you can get your characters killed and really change the storyline. Detroit, it's the same way. Yeah. This game is just like at one point you end up like having to work for the government, of course, because you've got the superpowers. The government comes and gets you, and they send you into this war zone. And every time I would switch to Iden, like at one point, you're a ghost, dude. And I tried to you're a fucking ghost. At one point I tried to like take out this soldier, but it wasn't letting me, like it was like not letting me go as far away from her in certain points as what it would in other points of the game. It wouldn't let me go through walls, which is like I'm a fucking ghost,
Wow. That kind of defeats the purpose, I guess, of being a ghost.
Yeah, I really think with Quantic Dream, like that entry, I mean, it looked beautiful graphically and it was great. I wasn't a big fan of it.
Just honestly. Those forced linear sections when it claimed to be entirely open world for the most part. Yeah.
And it's also like, as I was playing, I was like, man, this is like really trying to be like Phantom Pain right now. Like, they like saw that they're like, ooh, we can integrate this, and it's just like, you can't, because you're just. This is just it just felt like a drawn out, crappy part of the game,
right?
To me, and I just wanted to. It got to the point where I was like, I just want to get through this shit.
Does this Detroit? Does this deliver more on the open world feel that you looked for with Beyond that you didn't get?
Not open world feeling. I wasn't looking for an open world feel with.
Well, I'm more not such linear. You have to do certain things, yada yada, with your choice.
Yeah, like that. Just like if you ever play the combat part, you'll know what I mean. It's just really boring. Because I never felt like I was necessarily at risk or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Detroit, on the other hand, though, man, I mean, there are parts of it that get really intense. I mean,
like. This
Huh?
I've heard from everyone I've heard that's played this game. Shout out to my buddy JD and a couple other people. They've liked it. They don't hate it. I don't think they love it, but they're impressed with it.
Yeah.
They're
I
happy
mean,
with it.
if you were a fan of Heavy Rain, this is definitely a must play because it's like they went ahead and they looked at Heavy Rain and they were like, you know what, this was a hit. We did this right. Let's do it like this then, you know. And,
Kind of like
um,
we're pull the curtain back like we're doing this episode with Malfunctions, take two, whatever. Kind of like we're doing this week.
yeah, pretty much. But yeah, I mean, I'd recommend Detroit if you're not a fan of story-driven games. Oh my God, we yawning again. So if you're not a fan of story-driven games, you know, like the way I like to play them is, it's like with Heavy Rain. It was just so great to like play that game and get the ending that I got, and then watch Karen play it and see how her story unfolded.
Yeah.
And then like, you know, I'd have friends over and be like, hey, you need to play this game. Like my one buddy Joe down in Florida, I had him over. And I mean, you know, like I was like, dude, you know, because he was like, got any good games I can play? And I was like, dude, let's make a day of it. I want you to come over. I want to watch you play Heavy Rain. And like his shit was like completely different from mine. So you know, it was pretty. It's just like if you're not a fan of like games like that though, you know, I'd wait for the paycheck to drop, you know, or for the price tag to drop a little bit.
Or just wait for it to be free someday, like Beyond Two
Yeah,
Souls was last month.
I mean, yeah.
Other than that, though, man, I mean, I know we're both busy as shit right now this time of year with work. Anything, are there any other games really you've been diving into?
Not really. I did add the free games for this month to my library. I don't know if you caught what those are yet.
I already actually had trials, so I wasn't. I have it on my 360
All
Fusion,
right, on.
but it's a fun
Yeah,
game. Like all those games are really good. They're fun.
yeah.
I'd
I mean, you
recommend
know,
them.
I didn't really play Black Ops 3, so you
We
know.
have, and we actually have that game too. And well, my stepson has that game. I'm not
Mm,
into the Call of Duty series, as we've covered many a times. It's just
yeah,
never. I mean, in the beginning, like Big Red One, all the earlier entries. I mean, yeah, they were legit for its time, but then after a while, they went the Madden route with me. I know they've changed things before I get attacked here because I know we have listeners that are fans of the series, and I get it. It's still fun. I get it. It's a shooter. It's usually more times than not a well done shooter. Infinite Warfare was tremendous. I did play that a little bit. It was fun because it was different. It was a different take, not just your
yeah,
standard. We're in World War II. And that's why, and I get it. Call of Duty World War II, Battlefield, all those. These were great games, the most recent entries. But in a way, it was like to go back to that again for me. That's just my opinion, though. On it. But for me, same as you, Tan. I've only been really playing one game when I do have the time, and it's a game I'd never played before. I know you've never played. It's Horizon Zero Dawn. Anyone that's known me in social media in the past month and a half, 2 months, or whatever, knows that I won't shut up about this game. It's great. It surprised me, quite frankly. Done by Guerrilla Games, known for the Killzone games. So this is definitely something that is a little out of their realm, not something that they, yeah, to equate it, it's a Western RPG basically, like The Witcher. Just the story with it is like machines. It's set in the future on Earth, machines and ruins and all that goodness. And the story's great. It has a very Last of Us feel. With like drawing emotions and pulling at your hot strings at certain points.
mm,
It's gameplay wise, it's just like you were describing earlier with Detroit. It has that you can never take too long to casually be like, like you're always on the edge. There's always something to do. Even lower level enemies can still fuck you up if you don't have your shit together. You gotta
yeah,
be. It's one of those games that are really fun, but you got to be on your A game, and it's really addicting the way like certain things are set up, and the leveling's fine, and the action's fluent. The only nitpicky thing I have, and I can't really say anything because it's such a beautiful game. It's very well done. It's the jumping mechanic. It's a little off, but I don't hate it. I don't hate the jumping mechanic, but I see that's the biggest complaint from people when they talk about this game is that. So got to address it at least. But I definitely highly recommend Horizon Zero Dawn. I'd give it a 10. Come at me. I'd give it a fucking 10. A
all
10!
right.
A fucking 10!
I'm gonna have to check it out
Too
then,
far
'cause
from the
that's a
bro.
pretty good rating there.
Yeah, you definitely would like it, I think. It would be up your alley. Because and it also it's that it come at me again, people. In my opinion, at least top three female protagonists in a game ever now is Aloy, the main character in this game. She's badass. She's not vanilla. and just basic bitch. She's got layers to her, and it's great how they did her character. And it's a coming of age story. You start as a child. Not too many spoilers for anyone, but yeah, you start as a child, and it's fucking great. I'll shut up now about it. It's good. Other than that, though, oh, by the way, the homework, because you probably forgot, it's been so long since we did it. Buster Douglas Boxing, I did an actual review for your homework this week, so shout out to you guys who dug the Hibiki Quickie Buster Douglas Boxing. I'd rather play Evander Holyfield. And Tannen actually has the actual card for that game, so Tannen, it's probably worth like $2.
Cool.
It's not that fun. It's a port of a game called Final Blow from arcades, which wasn't that good anyways.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. They
Huh.
just slapped his likeness on, like I said in the review, because it's right at the time like he shocked the world, right? And he beat Mike Tyson, and that's
Hmm.
you get a game then, pretty much.
Yeah, and it's on Sega. Wasn't that
So
one on Sega?
90s. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But thank God that there was tons of news going on this week. It's the biggest time of the year for us in any gaming podcast, gaming related channel. E3, the big one, it's come and gone, Tannen. For the most part, now we're like the aftershock, right? Is where we're at
Yeah.
in a way.
Yeah, we're definitely looking at the aftershock wave of it.
Let's get into it.
I mean, there was parts of it this year that I was really impressed with, a lot of game titles, but just so Nintendo Showcase not so much. I'm still not convinced to buy a Switch. You come at me on that one, but I'm just not. I mean, I know there's you got Smash Brothers coming to it and everything, but it's just I'm still like, you know what I mean? I thought maybe they would announce like an upgraded version of the Switch, like a bigger screen or something.
We're both
Along those
self-admitted.
lines.
We've said it many times. We can be convinced to buy one if we get our little nuances we want, like a little bit bigger screen, just a little bit more original stuff instead of so many ports. It's still a
Yeah,
great concept. There's so many. I don't know. Every original IP that's come out on it more times than not has been great. Odyssey, fucking Smash is going to be excellent. Deluxe, even though that was kind of a port, it was, for people that played it, said it's tremendous. So one day I will get one just like Tanner.
yeah, yeah. One day when it's like I'm not going to feel like I'm picking up a prototype necessarily. You know what I mean? Um, God, what else though? I mean, dude, there was a lot. Game wise, of course, you had the new Last of Us 2 trailer that revealed a hell of a lot more about its combat system and a little bit more about its storyline and stuff like that. It just looks really, really good. I mean, the game itself just looks beautiful. Just like they kind of did with the first one, seemingly going from a cutscene into gameplay. You can't really tell the difference.
Yeah.
All that good stuff with that. I mean, it just that one was one that definitely blew me away. One that surprised me was not expecting was the Resident Evil 2 remake.
Yeah.
And that blew me out of the fucking water. And the more that I'm reading about it and looking at it, and I watched the actual gameplay video and stuff, it looks freaking awesome.
I've seen shots of shooting limbs off of zombies now. I think we've seen the same clips maybe. Yeah, dude, there are lots of detail is going into this. I can't wait.
And it's to my favorite one in the entire series too. I mean, Resident Evil 2 was always my favorite title.
In a way, it's really surprising that this one hadn't been remastered yet because like the one's been redone now. What a couple times over for like newer GameCube.
Yeah, it started with the GameCube, and then they updated that one for for the PS4.
Yeah.
So it's just really funny that like one was done so many times. I think that they've kept this one under wraps a lot and probably for a long time. So that way it didn't create a stir like Final Fantasy VII remake.
I
So
I don't I don't
sorry.
think that was the only shocking thing though. I think first of all,
Yeah,
before
well,
we
it
go
was,
ahead.
but going back to what I was saying though, Final Fantasy VII remake. Like, I don't think they want to have a situation like that. Like, I just read where Square Enix, there was an outside developer that was also developing the game. They've dropped that developer and have decided to go back to scratch. So
Woof.
here's to another fucking 10 years of no Final Fantasy VII remake, if
I'm
ever.
I washed my hands of it at this point. I'm not even going to have a glimpse of hype for it now.
Yeah.
I didn't
That's
have any
fucking crazy.
expectations, by the way, that they would say anything about this. I had none. I didn't expect anything to be shown for it this year.
Mhm.
Nothing.
Yeah, neither here. Now, I know it says early 2019. So that probably means 2020, with Barbara Walters.
I mean,
But
if it's not completely ready, we're apparently nearly being ready, like you said, and they've dropped the devs and it's going back to scratch now.
oh yeah, now
I
as far as as far as Final Fantasy goes, I'm done with that, man.
If it
Done
is
with
still
it.
a go and it does come out eventually, and like whenever, let's say rose-colored glasses, 2 years we see it
Yeah.
hits the light of day. Thank God it actually didn't come out this year, considering the other things we saw this year that are my God, look at the list if you get a chance, guys. Listen to this. Just some of the things unexpectedly shown, especially Bethesda. And I think it's a silly
Hmm.
argument to ever say who won E3 because who the fuck cares? You know what I mean? It's not, you know what I mean? I don't know. I always thought that was dumb.
Yeah,
Uh,
but even with Bethesda with Doom, I didn't know there was going to be a new Doom game. Had
yeah,
no idea about that.
I'm so hyped for that, and that's going to be great. The first one was tremendous. Tana, if you have played it,
Yeah.
I think you did.
I played the first one. I don't own it, but I definitely I rented it and I played it over at Ricky's once and stuff too. It's a good game. It's one of those games I've been waiting to get around to.
Bethesda was definitely, I think, the standout. Ubisoft's up there, but I feel like Bethesda, because I feel like they caught people out of left field more than anyone. Nobody expected anything Doom. No one expected a official Skyrim 6 announcement. Like they announced it, they showed nothing because there's probably hardly anything done. But I only expected Skyrim on more devices, and it was also a hilarious video with Key and Peele where they mock Skyrim. I don't know if you saw that, Tannen.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was great. Well done. Cyberpunk 2077. That's the one that is everyone has their finger on the pulse. I feel like that's the one blowing people away. Done by Project Red, The Witcher 3 people. Tremendous looking, and from all accounts I've even seen on social media already, YouTubers that are way bigger than us and that I follow and stuff. They played it, and they said it's exactly like what you see in a trailer. It's mind blowing so far. What do you think about that game in particular, Tannen?
Yeah, same here. No, I think that game looks really fucking awesome. So it's just one of those ones that definitely am looking forward to it. Um, right now I'm even going through the list here. There was one um, Microsoft's thingamabobbers. They had a couple of announcements, and one I was just kind of like, really, I don't know, Halo Infinite. I don't know if you saw the trailer for it.
I did, yeah.
Kind
God
of
knows they
lackluster.
had like that was like what 2 or 3 original things they did. There wasn't a fucking Microsoft.
Yeah, and was kind of lackluster to me. I mean, granted they included animals now, but I just didn't. I don't know. It didn't look like it was that impressive to me at all. Maybe some other listeners are gonna argue that one, and it's fine. It's just I don't know. I go back. I have the Master Chief Collection. Every now and then I go back and play that and play it online just for the multiplayer. But it's just, excuse me. But it's just one of those games that I don't know.
I'll tell you one that,
I
that
think it's
caught
just
my
kind of
eye.
beaten into the ground at this point.
One that caught my eye that we saw a lot more gameplay from this year was Rage 2. I know it kind of feels like a PlayerUnknown's Battleground ripoff in a way, but it feels like so much more to me. I'm really intrigued about that game.
Dude, and I liked the first one a lot. I really thought it was underrated.
As far as
Fucking John Goodman was in it, dude.
Fallout 76, another huge one, Bethesda again. Like, I can't speak on this, so this is all you because everyone knows I've never played a Fallout game, but I did watch it, and I know that there's a lot of different things in
Hmm.
this game,
Well, it
right?
takes place in West Virginia, which is exciting. Our neighboring, our neighbor to the south. Which is kind of exciting. Um, you know, Going around in the mountains of West Virginia. So I think that's pretty cool. But here's the one thing that I'm like, kind of like, when I watched the whole trailer. One thing that I didn't like about Fallout 4, and some people did really like it. I just thought it was like, I'd rather just run around and kind of fuck around the wasteland and go through the story. Was the whole building the settlements thing?
Yeah.
Wasn't a big fan of that. If I wanted to play the fucking I feel like if they wanted to do that, they should have just made a separate game, not just like the mobile Fallout shelter. You know what I mean?
Like a
They should have,
strategy game.
yeah. And I just that turned me off in Fallout 4, and now it looks like it's a huge focus because it's just like, and you're gonna have to rebuild even America, and it's just like, Son of a bitch.
It's north and
Really?
south for the NES all over again, Dan.
Well, no, I don't think it's like even like that. It's
No, I
just
know.
I think
Okay.
you're going out there to rebuild humanity in this one, and it's just like so that means I've got to fucking build shit.
Dan, another big one, because there's so much. We just have to keep the train moving because we
Yeah.
will spend a ton of time in the coming months on these games, I'm sure. But let's just try to get them out of the way. We had so much curiosity going into this. The second you and I both watched the very first trailer of it, what, a year and a half ago now? Death
Mhm.
Stranding gameplay shown. Tons more stuff revealed for it. Not too much though, but I feel like enough. It was a perfect balance how they showed just enough to make me wanting more. I still don't know what the fuck's going on, but I don't care. This looks wow. What did you think?
I thought it was same thing, just a like a pretty big surprise there. Um,
I
yeah, I mean, just pretty much what you said.
But I get it. I mean, I get it. Kichima's a meme by this point. I
Hmm.
get it. But
Yeah,
these shadow enemy creatures, whatever the fuck they were, that he had to have this little blinking light with a fucking baby in an aquarium duct taped to him. It was creepy as shit. And our first attempt to record this, you said it was just as creepy as a Silent Hill, and I totally agree. There's for just this little bit, and it obviously shows what can happen if you fuck up, and it showed him dying. Norman Reedus' character. My God, I can't wait to see more and play it one day.
yeah,
Super hyped.
yeah. No, the thing is like it's another one of those games there that like it's just like is it going to take another 3 years to
Yeah.
finally hit the shelves? I mean,
What?
granted, it's a it looks like a really good high quality game as far as like graphically and everything, and it looks like they're putting a lot into it. I still wish that we would have had Silent Hill,
Yeah.
but this looks like a different game
I mean, come
altogether.
on though. I mean, that's a given. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess we're just taking what we get. I know you love the part where he rips his fucking toenail off too.
Oh yeah. Oh, that part was just like, ah.
Nintendo though, I pretty much expected as far as the big end. I expected mainly Smash. That's what we got. I feel like they delivered with every playable character from the past. Snake, Ice Climbers are back. Everyone that's ever been in a Smash game, they announced flat out will be in this. I kind of feel like this will be the last one for a while, for a good while, and that's a big reason why they did that.
Yeah, with a roster like that. But I
What else can
guarantee
you
you,
do with it? You know what
I
I
mean,
mean? Like
but the thing is too with her announcing every character, is that packaged in with the game, or do you have to fucking get DLC packages?
if they announced it, I don't remember, but other than that, I don't know, honestly.
Okay, yeah, that was one thing that I can't remember either. Um, but I'm just wondering, like, if there's going to be more characters. Yeah, just the DLC packages. Like, some of them were a little bit disappointing for me on the Wii U. Like, it was cool you could get Cloud, but then it's just like all these other JRPG characters I really didn't care about.
Yeah,
Um,
the Fire
so
Emblem characters and the Xenoblade, because you never really played a lot of those games, and you weren't as familiar, obviously, as I
mhm.
with like a Fox or something. Even Ike, and it's also cool. I did see they have two versions of Ike now. There's the Breath of the Wild Link was announced. I, I, I'm glad it's not just a deluxe version like Mario Kart went, but I feel like people are just going to assume it's like Mario Kart Deluxe when it's really a whole new game. But I feel like it's because it came so much quicker since the Wii U one instead of that long stretch from between like Melee and Brawl. And I mean, this is the closest together I feel like two Smash games have been released.
Yeah, 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 dude, yeah. Because well, what was the? I mean, there was the N64 and the GameCube version. Those were kind of close. I feel like when the
Well,
64
yeah,
version.
but you're right. 99 and 01. And then
Yeah,
Brawl, though, was
there was some time between
yeah.
Melee and Brawl, most
Oh
definitely.
06 was Brawl?
I think so. And then we didn't get the Wii U one until like what 2009, 2010,
Yeah.
and I might even be overshooting that even. To be honest with you, actually, no, I think I am. There's no way that game is 6 years or 8 years old.
There's also new gameplay changes I saw, more parrying in midair. There's everybody's getting a new Final Smash, so it's straight up. It's a brand new Smash game, new stages, everything. Obviously tons of Mario Odyssey skins would be in it. They announced just Splatoon characters. Obviously, is the big one for most people, and I don't. They said there will be new characters, Tandem, but not as many as in previous ones, and I feel like that equates to all the old characters being back, which is fine, you know. And just like you said, it got to a point with the Wii U one, it got ridiculous a little fucking bit, you know. Like, come
Yeah.
on, stop it, stop it.
Yeah, yeah, and just for the record, the Wii U one and the DS one came out in 2014. It has not been that long, 4 years. Um, so there's that. So actually, that's relatively close. The longest that we've gone without in between games would be between Brawl and the Wii U one. Actually, well, no, it was actually Melee and Brawl because that was 7 years. The Wii U one and Brawl was 6 years.
Yeah.
So
Did you
still,
catch?
yeah.
Did you catch much of Ubisoft's conference then?
I saw a little bit of it. I mean, like, as far as like trailers went, like I did see the Assassin's Creed Odyssey trailer, which that looked pretty amazing.
And people were
Uh,
ridiculous, by the way. And this is going to be ranty. I don't give a fuck. I'm sick of this shit. The character, and in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, God forbid, it's a same sex type thing, and your choices you make with the same sex. People are up in arms, just like it's now Ellie is gay. We talked about this off air, Tana. How the fuck
oh
could you
yeah,
not know Ellie is gay in the
you,
first
you
place?
you knew that even without playing the DLC. Like,
I'm really
I'm
sick of
pretty sure
people
that was kind
treating
of established.
I guess at the end of the day, I'm sick of people treating an entirely different kind of media as a movie. It's not. A movie, yeah. Sometimes it relies on a narrative like that to make it good or bad. But if the meat and potatoes is hands-on gameplay is what matters, then who the fuck cares? Who cares if it doesn't deter a great gameplay experience? In my opinion, that's how I've
Yeah,
always been with stories in
yeah.
video games. You know.
Oh, it's just like how remember when people flipped out about fucking Mass Effect. Like, it's just
Yeah.
like, and it's just like, no, that's your choice as the character. You don't have to do that. Like, your
I
character
think,
doesn't have to be gay if you don't want to be gay. Like, you just play
quite
the
frankly,
fucking game.
when it's done right, just like I was talking about Aloy in Horizon Zero Dawn being one of the best female protagonists ever and I've seen in the game. When it's done right, it's very refreshing to see, and I like that. I like that
Yeah,
thrown in. It's fine. Who
yeah.
cares? Calm down, you fucking schmucks. But either way, Ubisoft, Tannen. Sorry.
Oh yeah, Ubisoft. Yeah, going
Odyssey
back
looks
to
amazing. Origins, I don't think you still have played it, but it was great, and I'm sure it's going to be more like that. Just class given to it, and just time,
yeah,
not a
yeah. I
rush.
think I think like they just Odyssey was or Origins was like the engine they created for the new line.
Yeah.
Um, obviously, because I mean they obviously trailed off from Syndicate. In that engine, it feels like a different engine. It looks like a different engine. Or updated
Yeah.
version thereof. So, I mean, and yeah, like Assassin's Creed games, they do get cranked out a lot. I mean, if you were to like be like, I'm going to do the Assassin's Creed challenge and beat every single one, that would take you for fucking ever at this point.
I mean, if you're gonna 100%, I mean, if you're gonna story do it, you could do it, but you'd be bored as fuck between like
Hmm.
2 and 4. I feel like then it would start getting because you got Brotherhood, you got Revelations, you have all the spin-offs that were essentially just two. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? It felt
Yeah,
like just a conveyor belt when two came out of all those spin-offs, and that's what we're talking about, guys. With that
yeah.
Madden effect, we always say.
And then they went into three, which like because yeah, two the Ezio trilogy itself is fucking huge.
I appreciate what they did in 3. I don't hate 3 as much as some people. Sometimes you take a swing and a miss. You know what I mean?
I don't know why people hated three. It was still pretty cool. It had a really cool storyline. It was the
Yeah.
American Revolution. Like that was a cool time period to do the whole Assassin's Creed thing. In my opinion, climbing on buildings and stuff in like old Massachusetts and everything. I liked it personally.
But I think
Um,
Origins is on that masterpiece level. It's just you can see how much love went into that and just
mm,
detail and it shows obviously in the product. Any other big things that grabbing your eye from E3 this year? I know we saw Spider-Man footage, a ton of it.
oh
Looks
god, that game looks fucking awesome.
hell yeah, I'm hyped.
Like I'm definitely looking forward to that one. Just the spot the whole scene with and then he's getting the shit beat out of him by like
Oh, I know. Good, Tim.
oh no, I'm just saying that it was like on the edge of my seat watching it, and then he looked up and they like ended on a cliffhanger, making you want the game and also making you want to know what happens. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, it looks fucking amazing. It looks like they really, like Spider-Man games have come a long way. They definitely Since like Ultimate and Spider-Man 2, they definitely have they took that concept, and those games were awesome games, but they're really rolling with it. I mean, it looks great, and the amount of detail that they put into it.
I know we also saw Sea of Thieves get some DLC announced, but on the other hand, a game called Skull and Bones, Shannon. See
Yeah,
that?
that looks cool. I want to play that game really bad.
I feel like it's what Sea of Thieves should have been, and
Yeah,
a couple of my buddies tweeted out to be smartasses, but it might be a reality. R.I.P. Sea of Thieves if this game catches on.
yeah. Oh yeah. Well, it's just like Sea of Thieves is kind of goofy and cartoony versus this one looks like it took a more serious tone, a more grown up tone. So it's just like, yeah, that's gonna kill Sea of Thieves. But
A funny game announced I didn't see coming was Battletoads. Did you catch that?
yeah, I did see that, which is awesome.
Is it? Because I feel like the NES Battletoads game is solely fueled on nostalgia with people. Because the game fucking sucks. I've
Oh, it's terrible. It was terrible, but it was awesome at the same time. I don't know. Like I liked it when I was a kid. It was just so fucking difficult because of how just bad its platforming was. But I mean, like at the end of the day, I still like that game a lot. So,
The soundtrack's great. I will say that. But shout out to our buddy Jenna Lee from Jenna Lee's Beauty Slam, who was going to be on this episode, but I guess communication. It is fucking late when we're doing this real time.
yeah.
But she used to work at GameStop, and I asked her once. I was like, "Did anybody call in with the Battletoads thing?" She was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Was it, jokingly?" Then I said, "Was it like the other employees like, oh, you're initiated?" And she was like, "Yeah, that's actually literally what happened."
Oh God.
If you guys don't know the Battletoads joke, look it up. We're not going to tell you.
Oh my.
Any other humdingers from E3 that you're really excited for, or anything that you were disappointed in? I should say we didn't really go that route.
None of it really blew me away. I'm gonna be honest. Some of it made me laugh. The fucking. Did you watch All Stoney's press conference?
I didn't watch all of it. No
Oh my God. The
things I
beginning
wanted to
for
see from
what
all of
was
the
it called?
conferences.
Shadow of Tsushima.
I saw that. I did see that.
Um, the long drawn out, and you know how Sony they all do their showcase thing, like like some years they'll have like some choreographed dance thing or something like that.
Yeah.
This time it was a dude playing like I can't remember what they're called, but one of those like Asian flutes. It was just like, it was just showing like it showed this like grassy field swaying in the wind, and I mean, dude, it was like, wow, that's an amazing looking fucking field, and this guy just playing this fucking Chinese flute for like 5 goddamn minutes until they finally started showing gameplay footage. It was just to the point where I was like, come on, man, like, should we just? Oh no, and there was just one point. There was two parts though where he like totally fucked up. Said Karen and I laugh because it was like, oh, he fucked up there. But dude, yeah, actually that game looks pretty cool too. Um, don't know if I'm necessarily like extremely stoked for it per se, but it looks like a really beautiful version of Breath of the Wild. Like it does look like they took a Breath of the Wild concept where it's all open world and you can approach anything as to any direction that you want, and
Yeah.
go into it like that.
Rapid fire round, Tannen. The few things we missed. Star Fox being thrown in that Starfront. What is that game called?
Oh, what is that game called? That looks cool though.
That does. That does. Worthy.
Yeah.
Mario Tennis, Mario Golf, a 1-2 punch. Tennis looks
Mhm.
really good. I can't wait someday to play that game because the 64 one, like we covered like a week or two ago, was still holds up.
Yeah. Yeah,
What
it
do you think?
does.
What do you think about that coming out?
Dude, yeah, no, anytime there's a Mario Tennis or golf, I mean, hell, there was also a Mario Party that was announced, which of course, like, it was announced, but the Mario Party, like, looked like it was gonna be, it looked like the Wii U version to me. They just deluxed it up to me, like, Also, the commercial was fucking hilarious to me too. Once again, people are taking their Switches out to the middle of goddamn nowhere, like camping and shit, to sit around the small Switch screen to play some fucking um Mario Party. What I did think was cool though is if you had more than one Switch, or if like you had a group of friends that all had Switches, you could put it together and like I guess it looks like you could make a customized board.
Yeah.
So that looked pretty cool.
Hitman, Tannen announced.
Mm-hmm.
See
That
that?
looks really good.
We never really talk about that. Fan of the franchise over the years, like every entry, or you got some ones that are.
I mean, I definitely played 2 when that first came out, and I played Contracts. Um, and then the one that Square Enix had first made a few years back for the PS3 and Xbox 360. I did play that one. I can't remember what that one was called. Um, and then I did rent the latest one, the latest entry that came out, and I was impressed with it. I mean, it's a Hitman game. Either you like them or you don't. They're fun, to me, because you can always go about your assassination differently. Sometimes you can even go in loud if you wanted to. But it doesn't make it as much fun. Of course, you're not praised as much too if you go in totally loud. But you know, I always liked them. I thought that was a solid series. I think the trailer looks pretty cool. So it's something that I'd be willing to check out at some point.
Tomb Raider. Did you catch any of that show?
I did. Now that looks fucking cool. I have yet to play Rise of the Tomb Raider. I heard it was really good, and I have yet to play it. I definitely played the remaster remake. I have that. I have it for both PS3 and PS4, but I did not play Rise yet. So that is a game that I need to check out because what's this one called then? Like Wrath of the Tomb Raider or something like that.
Something, yeah, yeah.
But I thought it looked really awesome. In my
Gears
opinion.
5.
Uh, See, the Gears of War series was one that I'm still like trying to get into that. I have the remastered trilogy. I have the fourth one, but they're just like it's like they're shelf fillers right now for whatever reason. Like
Yeah.
I used to go to this place down in Florida called Rocky's Replay. It was like a barcade. And in the afternoons, it was never busy. So if Karen and I were off, we would usually go in the afternoons. And like if it was terribly dead, I mean, the bartenders were allowed to bring in their gaming consoles and stuff and play video games in between customers and shit.
Nice.
And there was this one guy. I mean, I watched a good bit of Gears of War 2 being played back then. And I thought it looked really cool. Like I was like, oh wow, like this is, he's looked kind of clunky. You're fighting like giant worms and shit.
He was like, Unreal Engine, bro. Get in
Yeah.
it.
But I mean, it was just like at the time too. I mean, that was around the time that Dead Space 2 had just come out and stuff too. I mean, I was really into Dead Space at the time, and I thought the game looked really cool and kind of comparable as far as combat and shit went.
Right.
So like, it did impress me, but at the time, the Xbox 360 had broken down, so I didn't have that anymore. And finally, when I got my Xbox One, it's just there was just so much to get around to.
One that was announced actually right before E3 that I wanted to talk to you about. We just haven't done an episode. A brand new Sonic racing game, and if anyone played the one for 360, it's really easy to take a piss on modern Sonic games, but that game was actually really fun. I don't know if you even knew that came out right before E3, the trailer for that. Did
Was
you
it
play
Riders?
that?
Is that what the racing game is?
I think so. I don't have my list up. This is all off the top of my head. I've just winged it. Every game I can remember off the top of my head for
Oh, gotcha. I never had played the Sonic racing game on 360. So really honestly, I would be able to give you a solid opinion on that one.
Well,
Uh,
that's fine. That's fine. Last one. Last but not least, Tannen. Let's round it out. The one with probably and I'm trying to take another genre this time. Forza Motorsport 4.
hmm Yeah, I'm actually kind of excited about that. I like the Forza series. And I think the Forza series is really cool. Um,
I'm sorry, I said the wrong name. Forza Horizon 4. I don't know why I was thinking the 360 one because I was just
still,
talking
yeah,
Sonic, but
Horizon.
Horizon 4. My bad.
Yeah, Forza Horizon still it's a good entry into the series. I mean, there's that one has a lot more of the off-roading shit happening like the last one. I mean, you're racing on the beach a lot and shit like that. It's really cool. Yeah, I'm excited for that one. I mean, Forza I'd make comparable with Need for Speed as far as like, franchises go. So, that'll be a good filler, especially I think for Karen in between the Need for Speed games.
I know there's probably a couple other ones that people wanted us to talk about, like Days Gone. just other things that there's just so much stuff every year it
Yeah,
seems. But
Days Gone.
I feel
Days
like
Gone
we
looked really awesome.
I feel like we spun the wheel and we pretty much landed and knocked out most. So I feel like we did a good job. And like we said, in the coming weeks we'll be have tons of time to talk about so many more games. If we didn't get to talk about a certain game, you got like Dying Light 2. Um, Jesus, Fear the Wolves. I didn't even bring up that game. Did you catch Fear the Wolves, Tannen?
No.
Check that out. Check that out. Great FPS. It feels a little more survival horror-ish, but I can see action elements. But it looks fun. Uh, yeah.
Did they run any previews for what's that game where you're like in hell and it looks really gruesome but amazing at the same time? It looks fucking
Ashen?
terrifying.
No.
No, it's
No, I
like
have
I
to go
don't
further.
know. I'd have to look into it again. But I mean, the game looks fucking amazing, and I've already seen gameplay for it and everything. I just didn't know if anybody had talked about it. Um, funny thing is too, and it's like I'm still not seeing a lot in it. But PC games were part of this year's show, weren't they? Which was completely different. You never really see PC games at an E3, but I think they did have a PC thing
Hey,
going.
that just speaks to the times, also, man. You know.
But it's just funny because I don't see anything. Oh, Anthem looks really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's good
Um,
stuff on here. We got more Octopath Traveler stuff too, which I was happy to see because that game looks
mm.
fun. Uh,
Shadow of the Tomb Raider, by the way, is what that's called.
there you go. Kingdom Hearts 3, the last big one. I knew people would kill us if we didn't mention that. Now,
Oh yeah.
apparently they gave us a date, so that's going to change. I'd like to think that release date will change because it always
What?
does. The Kingdom
The,
Hearts 3 announcement, like when it's coming
yeah,
out.
with the early 2019 date.
Yeah.
What do you hope? Are you hoping it gets delayed
No,
again?
I don't hope it gets delayed, but I'm guessing that date's going to change, is what I'm saying, because I feel like there'll be at least be one delay, probably.
God knows they keep pouring so much more into it. And it looks like there's a shit ton of worlds in this one. It looks like they're pretty much trying to pack every Pixar world that you could think of into it. Um, as well as like, of course, all the other newer movies. I saw there was a Frozen world. I just keep seeing like sometimes I get on YouTube and it's just like this world announced and this world announced and
Yeah.
you know,
At the end of E3 2018, though, looking back now, we've taken it all in. Tannen, tip not a top three or anything, just the game that has you most intrigued and hyped coming out of it.
I mean, Last of Us, but Last of Us had me most intrigued and hyped for a while. Um, I'm thinking, it's not going to get that early 2019 release date. I'm thinking it's going to still be another year before we see that one too.
Yeah.
Just because it's just how it works, man. I feel like sometimes they do it on purpose. Like they do that to hype you with thinking it's going to come out, and then they are like, "Well, we'll just work on it a little bit more." You know what I mean?
Welcome to the machine, basically.
Yeah.
I still got to stick to my guns, man. Cyberpunk 2077 takes the cake for this year's E3 for me. I think that just, it's what Shadowrun should have been, not some shitty first person shooter on 360 when they remade that or whatever. That's it.
Yeah.
That's E3. We did it, Tan. And do we bother giving each other homework for next week? Because I know we're really busy lately, but we can if you want.
But like
Game of
a
the
game
week.
of the week.
Yeah.
Let me see something here.
He's digging deep, and that can't be good for my sake, because usually it's a really shitty game.
No, we're gonna go with the um. Okay, so looks like it was 20 years ago. This year, E3 took place in Atlanta, Georgia. Nintendo had some big announcements. Um, oh man, but one of the top games here. Let's see here. Oh, you know what you can do?
Lay off.
We'll give you Conquer 64.
Oh, fuck me.
What?
All
It's
right.
funny. It's funny because back then it was called 12 Tales Conquer 64, and it was supposed to be a children's game.
All right. I'll do it. For you, keep it 64. Go play Quest 64. You want to give me a shitty 64 game? Go play it.
I liked Quest, so yeah, I'll
Of
take it.
course you do. Of course you like Quest.
No,
And
no,
the
I like
shitty
I
circle
so
around you that the
I
enemies have to
like
be in.
liked it when I played it. Like back when I rented it from fucking Books and Things. So this will be interesting. Maybe I'll play it and be like, wow, this game fucking sucks. I played it in anticipation for, when the 3D Zelda game came out. So from what I remember, it is kind of dumb. Your heroes, your character's kind of stupid. Why don't you like Conquer?
Just I get it. It's funny, and there's all kinds of sex jokes and blah blah blah. The camera, the gameplay, so fucking shitty. The
I mean,
original
dude,
one,
like I could make it even more shitty for you and say you got to play the Xbox One version.
on the rare replay edition.
Yeah.
I knew there was a reason I didn't buy an Xbox One. There it is.
No, whatever. The rare replay is pretty cool. I mean, Banjo Kazooie worked really well on that one.
Tannen, we did it. Episode 41's in the books as E3. Man, I'm glad we finally got this. It was a little struggle, but we did it, man. Finish line, we crossed it together, holding hands, just like the Pat Benatar songs playing in the
And
background.
isn't this
Team
isn't this our 40th?
41st.
Oh, 41st. That's right. Last one was the 40th.
Mhm.
So yeah, 9 more until the big 5-0.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Holy shit.
Until then, one more time, Tannen, where can everyone catch all that goodness? And please, I know you're going to do it. Plug the Facebook group because I always forget.
Oh, always plug the Facebook group. So of course you can catch me at OTanningsBum at Twitter. I'm not active on it at all, but you never know when I'm going to pop up and say something. Just go ahead and follow me, and you never know, I might come back from the dead. And also be sure to follow us at our Facebook site, our Facebook page, the Reset Button with Tannen and Travis. And you can also catch Travis at HibikiTMD at Twitter.com. You can also catch him as well doing his thing with the whole Hibiki network.
41 episodes. 41 episodes. Still don't get my Twitter right. It's at the HibikiTMD.
At Twitter.com. I can't say that shit fast, man. I just can't, especially when I'm this tired. But yeah, I mean that about sums it up, man. Let's go ahead and hit it.
Tannen, thank you once again, my friend, for being here. I'll catch you next time. As always, like Tannen said, follow me on Twitter at the HibikiTMD. Hit the subscribe right down below. Until next time, the reset button. Smash it.